Hey everyone, how's it going? So, what am I working on now? Well, I got a, what the heck is this? A 2014 Ford E150 van. It's a full-size van, rear-wheel drives. It's got a 4.6 liter. The customer's complaint is check engine light is on and it's running rough. All I did was I got it from the front of the building, drove it inside the building, not into the building, that would have sucked. Anyway, drove it inside the building and hooked the scanner up to it. And I got two codes here. Let me show you what I got. So, got a code P0308, Misfire in cylinder 8, and a P0316. That is a multi-cylinder misfire. I'm actually not 100% certain why it's a P0316, to be honest with you. Usually something like that because it's a misfire detected on startup first 1,000 revolutions. If I look it up, P0316 is probably cylinder 8. Because if it was a P0309, it would probably be cylinder misfire on startup, and it would turn out it would be cylinder 1. Then you go, up to 16, obviously, because it's an 8-cylinder. So we're going to have to take the doghouse, which this is referred to as a doghouse, engine cover, stuff like that. If you ever hear somebody refer to a doghouse, that's what this is. So I got to figure out how to pull this whole thing off. I'm not 100% certain on this one. I got to pull it off because you do not have access under the hood. Here we are underneath the hood, and there is nothing there. Now, one thing I'd like to point out, you see this? A lot of people will see this and think, what the heck is this all about? This is for upfitters, meaning people that would install like interior racks and lighting. It could be for auxiliary, where the trailer connector is for like an auxiliary power port, stuff like that. It's just for different things. It could be for like roof lights too, because some people may require roof lights depending on what they put on the roof. So, but yeah, cylinder 8 can't get to it from underneath the hood. Can't get to just about anything underneath the hood on this. Take the air filter out. I think you can get the cylinders 1, 2, and 5 and 6. What Ford does is Ford does a different way of running their firing order. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 on the passenger side, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the driver's side. Now, as a V10, obviously it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. V6 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So on this one, it's going to be cylinder 8, and it's going to be the last one on the driver's side. So let me look into seeing what's involved in taking that doghouse off. On a lot of vehicles, like GMs especially, I'm more used to those. I find it a lot easier to just take the seats out. Seats are 4 bolts and usually one electrical connector, and they're out of the way. Make your life a whole lot easier. Ford may be a little bit different, I don't know. And this thing does have a cage inside. Yeah. This thing does have a cage inside. So I can't put the seat all the way back. That's as far back as it goes and it hits the cage. So it depends. Sometimes there's enough room to get them out, sometimes there isn't. But let me look into it, see what's involved in getting it out, and we're going to go from there. Okay, so I was incorrect. That P0316 basically means that the computer picked up that it's got a misfire on startup within the first 1,000 RPM or whatever the heck that said. That's all it means. It could be any cylinder. That's all it means. Okay, so I got it running now, and I'm on Misfire monitor pretty much, and I want to show you what I'm seeing. So here, cylinder 1 actually has some misfires to it. If I scroll, they're all good except until I get to cylinder 8. Cylinder 8 is pretty dramatic. So 280, it's just constantly climbing. For cylinder 1, it kind of calmed down. Now, if you have one cylinder that's got a bad misfire, like a dead cylinder, you may have other cylinders that are affected by that. So don't sit there and assume, like, let's just say cylinder 1. Don't go chasing cylinder 1 yet. Fix cylinder 8 first. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pull a plug. I got a funny feeling with 123,000. I just looked at the sticker because I know it's 2,000 miles away from being due. So it's got 123,000. I can pretty much guarantee you these spark plugs have probably never been changed. If I was a betting man, I'd bet on that. I don't bet, I don't gamble. Alright, so let me do that. Let me show you the motor because I pulled the engine covers off. Pretty simple. It was just, you pop that cup holder section off, it just pops up and off, and then the rest of it's just held in with little clamps. I popped it off, not a big deal. So there's a cup holder part in the back, the other part's outside. And it uses little clamps that latch down, one up here, one down here, and then another two on that side. So looking in here, here we have injector number 8 right inside here, and here's coil number 8. So what I'm going to probably do is I'm going to pull the plug out, and we're going to investigate. We're going to take a look and see what it looks like. Since this thing has such a dead miss, I may just swap coils just to see if it changes anything. Switch 8 with 7, because then if I start it up and now all of a sudden it's on 7, then I know it's a bad coil. Let me do that first, and let's see what happens. Okay, I got the 2 coils swapped, 7 and 8. So now I have to go back into the scanner, and let's start it up. Actually, let's go into Misfire test first. And I think it tells you that it wants it running. Start the engine. Hello. Okay. So let's see what we wind up with. Is it in the same cylinder? Did it move? Cylinder 7. Cylinder 8 is at 0. Cylinder 7. And then you see you have cylinder 2 also. Like I said, there's cylinder 1. The thing is, you do not want to chase the other misfire. You want to fix the misfire at hand first. So cylinder number 7, that's the one we're going to go after first. The fact that I switched the coil and now I have a misfire on cylinder 7 tells me I got a bad coil. So what I'm going to do is let me pull a plug out first, and I want to take a look at those, make sure, see if they were changed, if they weren't changed, or whatever. And hold on a second, do I want to exit? I'm just going to get out of that stuff. I want to see what the plugs look like in that, because we're going to probably throw a set of spark plugs in it had they not been changed already. So let me do that. Okay, so I got cylinder 8 spark plug out. Take a look at this. Worn out. Actually, turn the light on. Worn out. What? See it? I wiped it off with a rag because I got some oil on it. But it is shot. That is, oops. Unfortunately, I can't focus very well. But yeah, see the grounding strap is shot. It's just shot. That's an original plug. Wasn't super tight either, I'll tell you that much. All right. Gotta get a set of plugs and 1 coil coming for this thing. We should straighten this out. Let me get that going, get that done. All right, so underneath the hood here, what I did was I took the air cleaner housing out, and you can see you can actually get to quite a few of the plugs in that from underneath here. You may be able to get, if you're a skinny guy, you might be able to get to all of them. This guy ain't doing that. This ain't no skinny guy. But let me show you real quick. So here, with that out, there's a sheet cover here that comes out. You take that out and you take the air box and all of that stuff out. It's simple stuff. 8mm is all you need. And a Phillips head screwdriver for these little stupid plastic clips that hold that shield in place over here. Anyway, super simple. I'm not going to run you through all that stuff. But now from here, I can get to most of the plugs. But for me to try to reach all the way back to do the last ones, near impossible for me. If you're a skinny guy, like I said, you could probably get your butt up in here and, you know, do all of that. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to change the plugs and the 1 coil, and then we're going to start it up and see what we got. So all the plugs are out now. Some of them are really wiped out. And some of the plug coil boots are a bit messed up too. So I'm replacing all the boots in that 1 coil. Let me just show you here real quick. So here's a new plug, and if you look close, you can see what it looks like. So you can see how worn out the ground strap is on that one, and just how worn out the actual electrode is on that one. Now, when you're gapping plugs, do not take a gapper and run in between the grounding strap and the electrode. Unless it's a copper plug, then you can do that. Iridium, platinum, any of those others, I've gone over this before, don't do it. You can actually ruin the plug. These, in all honesty, I took a visual of them. I said, okay, well I know the gap is 43 to 47. I took a visual and I'm like, these are perfect. just to be on the safe side, I did measure them. I measured one. It's 45. All the other ones look right about the same. Gap is not as critical as a lot of people think. I mean, think about it. Shoot, if some of these worn out plugs, they're up around 80 thousandths. So, I mean, how critical can it be? If you think about it, there's no change in performance on the vehicle. There have been dyno tests done where they've closed the gap up to 20 thousandths and opened them up to 80 thousandths with almost no change in power or performance. It does make a difference on cold start and stuff like that, depending on the vehicle. You do want it to be where it's supposed to be for manufacturer specs. Also, on a car like this, if you remember that other Ford that I had where it burned up the computer, which I never got to actually work on it, I know for a fact that's probably what happened, was the driver went bad on it. It was a Ford, not an Escape, not a Fusion, Edge. The Ford Edge, and remember the coil blew apart? Well, what happens is when the plugs wear out and you get a larger gap, more than what it's called for, I mean, it has to be extreme, which those probably were, like some of these, the driver and the PCM will eventually fry. So, if you did notice, I did put some anti-seize on the threads. You get people all the time say, oh, you're not supposed to put anti-seize on the threads. It's going to ruin it, it's going to cause a misfire. Never seen it happen. Not once. I've done this for years and years and years. Never seen anti-seize cause a misfire. Now, if you're treating it like a cupcake and you're going to slather it in anti-seize, possibly, because it grounds through the head where the threads are. So, is it possible? Sure, it's possible, I guess. But you got to be an idiot to put that much anti-seize on a spark plug. Little tiny dab will do. That's all. That's all you need to do. Because I'd rather be able to get those spark plugs out later than not. Rather not snap one off in a cylinder head. So, all right, I'm going to throw these spark plugs in now. And, the boots. I was going to show you that real quick. Back up. Half of them look like this. Half of them look like this. And it's either side. It could be one side or the other. It didn't matter. So the fact that some of them look like this, they're getting replaced. And the one coil this is actually the one coil that has the misfire. There's nothing wrong with the boot itself. The boot looks fine. So I think the coil itself is just not firing, and that's an original coil. So is this. So, did water get down in there over time? Probably. So we're just going to put a set of boots on it and one coil, because I know that one coil is not firing. And the fact that there's no burn marks on the boot tells me that it's not arcing out somewhere. All right, let me get all this together, and we'll go from there. So I got the plugs in, I got that one coil in, I got all the boots in. I got the scanner loading up right now. Whenever you do something like this, usually on your first start, you may have a couple of misfires here and there, but it should clear up, provided you fixed it. So let's go into special functions and let's look at the misfire data. All right, so I can shut the light off. Special functions, misfire test. Yep, it's just a bunch of hokey lokey. Start the engine, then press OK. Why is it disabled? Maybe because I got no temperature in the motor right now? Let's just see. What is this? Oh, yeah, probably because the engine's got to be warmed up. Yeah, let me get some temperature in this motor first. Let's do that and see what we got. Yeah, what I did do is I went to a screen right now called Power Balance. It's not specifically telling me what anything actually is in terms of which cylinder is which. I mean, I could see this is cylinder 1, 2, whatever. I guess the blue line, 0 is the reference, and the blue line must be the averages or whatever. But I would assume if cylinder 8 was misfiring, it'd be all the way down. And it's not. Let's go out of this. Try misfire test again since I've had it running for a minute. Ah, there we go. Just funny how it changes the designation of the cylinders on this side. But there, see, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, all zeros. Okay. So I am good with that. It's definitely smoother than it was before too. I mean, I can't like visually see it, but before it did have a pretty good shape to it, and it doesn't now. Hey, you know what? I'm curious on something. Let's do something here. Let's go back to power balance. And I'm going to unplug the coil, I think. Alright, let's see what that's at. Oh yeah. See that? It's not contributing. But that's the other end of the scale because it comes into cylinder 1. So I'm assuming the firing order is 137-26548. So there you see. It's not contributing. So let me plug it back in. Now it's plugged back in, but the computer may have shut down that driver. Oh, there it goes. It's back. Alright, so I'm good with that. Alright, so really, I'm just going to put the doghouse and that back on and give it a road test. But that's for tomorrow. I'm going to leave this video at that. Now, hopefully you got something out of that. Hope you learned something. If you did, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. Alright guys, have a great day. Keep wrenching.